Hey guys, it's me Chandrik, and today already been 1 week since Tower Fantasy released in global, and I will give my impression because why I refuse to give my impression for the first day, second day, because that's like the I will say a hype period, trending period, where people could tendency will give more kind of biased opinion and something like that. And then also we are still very early in game. We don't know what roughly will happen in game, so we can misjudge and everything though. So I will end all the people argument in here. Like people say which one is better, Genshin or Tower Fantasy? Because I play both of game. I play Genshin from the first day also, never skip. Also same with Tower Fantasy. I'll give my final opinion and let's end all the argument. Is it Genshin killer? Let's get started then. So let's start about the gameplay, which is I will first discuss about the combat system. Combat system in Tower Fantasy is actually one character that involved with the rotation of your weapon itself though, so you can change with one weapon with another weapon. And later they have the extension gimmick where you can use normal attack as usual, dash attack, jump, aerial attack, have skill, ultimates when the bar is full, and they have the perfect dodge, so everything becomes slowed down and you will have your own skill there. And you can have the help of the gadget or relic or runes as your helper to do more damage though, kind of rocket and something like that. So it's pretty much more fast paced and need more reflex in terms of dodge though, because they're pretty essential though. So compare with Genshin Impact briefly, Genshin Impact is slow-paced gameplay, relying on elemental reaction, team synergy in character rotation though. And they don't have aerial attack, but instead they have plunging attack. They don't have perfect dodge, but they have iframe to avoid the damage taken. And if you ask me which one is better, Genshin Impact or Tower Fantasy, I read and some people even say that Tower Fantasy is harder because you need to do aerial damage, you need a perfect dodge, something like that though. But in the end, I feel both of them is draw or just about the same, because I don't feel like when I move to Tower Fantasy, I feel the gameplay is harder at all. No, instead, just try Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is much harder. It's so fast paced. You need crazy reflex. This one, I don't feel any escalate level because in the end you do the same thing. You need to do the skill. You need normal attack, dash attack, or in Genshin Impact you just do the charge attack, or you just in Genshin you can do the dodge or iframe. In Tower Fantasy you do the perfect dodge, and you do the rotation of the weapon in Tower Fantasy. You do rotation character in Genshin Impact. It's just the different one in Tower Fantasy that everything happened very fast, so that's why it looks more stylish though. And people say Genshin Impact, oh wow, it's just moves so slow and looks less stylish. But in the end, both of their gameplay is enjoyable for me because one is stylish, one is slow paced, but more a little bit kind of strategies to do the reaction, but in the end both of them is same. So the one that really determine which one is more fun is your preferences though. So let's move into exploration in Tower Fantasy is quite variative. You can use climbing as kind of manual, you can use a jetpack to kind of going faster, and you can glide using jetpack. You can also use the vehicle like a mount, something like that, which is give you variative to explore the area itself. You can even have like kind of gadget to help you, kind of like the missile. You have the magnetic storm and whatever, a lot of gimmick in there though. They even also have the infinite climb stamina though, which is you only need to do the double jump thingy though. So in the end, Tower Fantasy exploration is more convenient and more forgiving because they give you a lot of option to explore. Compared to Genshin Impact is less forgiving. If you fall down, if you run out of stamina, you have to climb again. There's no someone that helping you. It's very similar with Breath of Wild though, so it's quite annoying for some people. But honestly, I enjoy like the way how Genshin Impact exploration, because it gives you kind of like hard work to do that, because I really like explore. So sometimes I want to molding though, so to do the exploration. But people that hate exploration will like more Tower Fantasy because they get a lot of help because of the jetpack, vehicle, something like that though. So in the end, it's also preference. I want to say both of them is true. Both of them is have the fun way to explore the world, and I will enjoy both of them. Last thing that I will talk about the gameplay is about the end games, the game modes, and the feature about in this game. So we know that Tower Fantasy is MMO, so you can meet a lot of people, can do boss raid together, can give you SSR weapon, which is cute. They have also the energy based system like another gacha game, so you can spend that to get better resource, and you can get a better equipment. Can give you matrix 5-star also there, so that's good. They have also Endgame, like kinda called Bygones. They have like Frontier class and Void Rifts. That's also Endgame thingy that will test your strength though. Other than that, they have the competitive scene, which is like a PvP, which is people really like. They have two, the one that non-rank that usually in balance, and they have the rank one which is balance. So mostly the one in balance, honestly I already tried, it's pretty much okay and acceptable, except sometimes maybe the lag. Only that make it different between the whale and the free to play, which is maybe the whale will have more selection in terms of weapon and relics, but free to play will be lesser. That's the only one that make it different. Other than that, it's pretty balanced. They have the guild system, they have leaderboard, and also they have the character creation, which is very unique. You can create your own character there. They have also mini game, which is have the ride, also have the friendship system that you can increase, and also have kind of daily, weekly mission reward, something like that. So compared to Genshin Impact is actually more into single player and with the reach of story. Have some multiplayer, but only up to 4 people you can explore, but everything is just so fast. And then also they have kind of like artifact system that consume your energy. So this one where you can get a better equipment, but the RNG so sucks there. Also you can use the energy or resin there we call to get better resource. And also they have the end game called a spiral abyss. It's actually test of your strength, but I think if you eventually play that, you will progress that very easily. And also that I will highlight, they have kind of Serenity Teapot, like kind of the Sims you like to decorate. You can fishing. They also do a lot of events also that I find it's unique, which is kind of like hide and seek, rhythm game, tower defense, and something like that. So yeah, of course in this case Tower Fantasy is winning because they provide a lot of things to do. They have PvP and rank, so that will be grind a lot of time, right? Compared to Genshin Impact, if you already do daily or event and whatever story, pretty much you're already done. Nothing much that you can do. Now let's talk about the gacha and the rewards about Tower Fantasy. I will start with the good one. The good one in a gacha in Tower Fantasy is that they really give us a lot of rewards, especially at launch. They give what a lot pull in a permanent banner. They give like I already even get already 4 SSR, which is very good as a game that just launched. And also they have kind of black clues thing. You can even get SSR even 0.3%, so that's actually very generous. And also their PD system is actually very good, the one that I like. If you get SSR before your PD, you can even get again on 80, which is I really like it. And also they have the shop system where you can use that as a rebate, so you can buy the duplicate of your SSR. It's very good actually, I like it. Now talk about the bad one, or actually it's not bad, but I kind of worry because they very generous give us in the permanent pool. We kinda get like stingy in terms of Dark Crystal though, and also even Red Necklace. Yeah, I know they give us recently 10, but that's only because such a launch celebration. I'm kinda worried, how about in the future? If they just give us 3,000 per month, that means for the free-to-play player, for the worst case that you can get is 6 months though, around 6 months, which is pretty long though compared to other gacha game. So I kind of worry if they do like that. Hopefully the event in the future can at least give us like around 6,000. We can get around 6,000 per month, and I think it will be good though. So that's only the thing that kind of worry. I understand some people say that the limited will be added into permanent banner, but you have to take notes that it is random, right, in the end, so there's no guaranteed though. And the one you can buy on shop, it's only for duplicate. It's different than the Flame Gold. Compared to Genshin Impact, yeah, I agree. Genshin Impact is kinda give us less pool. They only give us like 5 per month for each limited and permanent. They have some in Battle Pass, Character Ascension, but not that much though in compared to Tower Fantasy. However, the good things that I will to highlight, like whenever they have event, the reward they give us is at least like Primo Gems. Primo Gems you can even spend for the permanent or limited though. It's different than Tower Fantasy that most of them just give in the permanent banner though. So it's more like give you flexibility. And as in Genshin Impact, we know that every patch they can give us around 6,000 to 8,000 as a free to play. So that means around 3-4 months you can even get guaranteed one. That means if you lose 50-50. So at least in a year you can get couple of them though. So I hope Tower Fantasy can do something like that. Yeah, but in the end I think yeah, Tower Fantasy it's a little better in terms of gacha because it's more forgiving though compared to Genshin Impact. Now let's move into different section, which is story and art. Art including the character design and everything. So the story in Tower Fantasy actually quite surprising me. In the beginning they give us like very fast, intense thingy, very fast into dark turn and everything escalates so quickly. I enjoy it, but time to time it becomes so sloppy though. They participate us with the unnecessary NPC. Yeah, there's couple playable character that contribute in the story, but it's only like fashion, so couple minutes show up, after that gone. So it's basically like there's a lot unnecessary thing that makes the progress is not fun, become boring. They still progress the main story, but so slow. I don't really like it, honestly. So yeah, it's pretty much mediocre or pretty bad. Now let's move to Genshin Impact though. Genshin Impact story is one of the solid one, I think. Their story always engaging. I like their facing. Yeah, Inazuma it's a little bit flop, but not as flop as like literally I play ToF Fantasy. Literally very good become flop suddenly, and they know how to make the pacing. I really like it and enjoy it. The story is actually a lot of twists, dark turn a lot, and I just enjoy it too. And for me, the character design itself, I would say it's pretty much mediocre. Some of them good, some of them is not. So it's not really consistent as Genshin Impact. And also the design of the overworld, I would say not so great. It's just fine. And the art, as for Genshin Impact, the character, some of people say the art done right, and I believe yes, it's done very right. Because most of the character is very eye-catching. I really like it though. Even some of the character already censored, it's still very elegant. I can take example like Chong is very good, Yaimiko is very good, it's very eye-catching. Some of people even don't really like to play game because the art is very good, people playing that Genshin Impact. And the world is very beautiful, you can see Liyue, like the sky, whatever is very good, the mountain, Watatsumi Island also, everything looks so cool, the color palette's very nice though. Now we move to the music, or the soundtrack or whatever. The soundtrack on TF, actually not bad, it's chilling 5 music things, whenever battle it's become intense, not bad, but for me, it's forgettable. It's chilling, forgettable, not impressive at all though, for me. That's honestly. In terms of Genshin Impact soundtrack and music, I would say they have one of the best soundtrack and music though in whole game industry. It's very like memorable. I really like their song. Kinda one of it is Ashdaha theme. It's really like I don't know, it's very unique. They have their own style and composing. So in here, clearly the quality between Genshin Impact ToF, Genshin Impact winning a lot in terms of music and soundtrack. Now we move into the last one, which is the technical things, like which is the polishment, graphic, UI, and whatever it is. Though I would to say the UI graphic in Tower Fantasy is just mediocre, nothing really so impressive. Like you can even see sometimes the graphic is not really so good. Like the tree especially you can see it's not really so great. The UI is pretty much plain. The voice acting is sometimes out of nowhere, sometimes gone, sometimes it's not. The buggy is still very kinda a lot, still unpolished. So yeah, there's a lot of minus in terms of here though. I think in here that where the Tower Fantasy lack a lot though. For Genshin Impact, I think in here like the Genshin Impact is much better in here, I have to say. The UI is a little bit better, it's more neat, the bug is a little bit less. I don't say they have no bug, they have bug, but not so much. The graphic is much better, the voice acting is really kind of much better in terms of direction. There's no there's a weird voice line or whatever. So I think in terms of polishment or whatever it is, Genshin Impact is more polished. So coming to conclusion, I'll to say I'll give Genshin Impact score is 8 and Tower Fantasy is 7 though. So Genshin Impact is a little bit better, but if you kind of count like unpolished things, like kind of how rough is it the game, I would say Tower Fantasy is 6.5 then, because Tower Fantasy needs more polishment though. So for sure, if you ask me, is it Tower Fantasy is Genshin killer? Of course it's not. But is it Tower Fantasy is that bad? No. Tower Fantasy is a lot of fun. I know when you see on YouTube, the gameplay looks so sloppy, graphic is so bad with, but try to play yourself. Try yourself. It's actually a lot of fun. I enjoy the guild system, a lot of things game want to do. And the more you play, I actually feel that it's not even close with Genshin Impact. I feel it's more Fantasy Star Online 2 mixed with the Devil May Cry and PGR though. So it's kind of fast paced with MMO though. And just because like Tower Fantasy is open world gacha anime style, it doesn't mean it's copy of the Genshin Impact, because time to time I think it has their own identity. It's same like a Genshin Impact, they say it's the copy of Breath of Wild, right? But technically Genshin have their own identity, so that's why I feel you can compare but no need to argue. My only advice that if you have time, then play both of them. If you don't have time or casual that only enjoying story, chill with the gameplay, or you are really like kinda a slow paced gameplay, then playing Genshin Impact. If you like a fast paced gameplay, you want to invest a lot of time, you really like competitive scenario, and you really like multiplayer, then play Tower Fantasy. There's nothing to argue. They have their own strength.
So yeah, pretty much that's it. I hope both this community will not fight so often, and I will see you in another video. So feel free to hit subscribe button and like. I will keep make this both content, Genshin Impact and Tower Fantasy. So I will see you next time. Bye bye.